The diner had nearly emptied when Daniel noticed the woman sitting alone in the corner booth, staring at a cold cup of coffee while her date walked out without even saying goodbye. Daniel was there with his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, finishing a late dinner after his shift at the garage. He had seen plenty of rude people in his life, but something about the woman's expression made him stop. She was a beautiful woman in a tailored coat, sitting beside a sleek wheelchair. Her hands trembled slightly as she tried to reach for her phone. "Are you okay?" Daniel asked gently. The woman looked up, embarrassed. "I'm fine." Daniel glanced toward the door. "The guy who just left didn't look like someone who deserved you." She gave a bitter laugh. "He didn't know I was disabled until he arrived. Then he suddenly remembered he had somewhere else to be." Daniel didn't know what to say. Lily quietly slid a piece of her dessert across the table. "You can have mine," she said. "It makes people feel better." The woman's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. Her name was Victoria Hale, though Daniel had no idea that she was one of the wealthiest businesswomen in the city. When Victoria tried to move her wheelchair away from the table, one of its wheels caught against the carpet. Daniel immediately stepped forward. "Let me help. I can manage." "I know," he said, "but you don't have to manage everything alone." Those words struck her harder than he realized. Daniel carefully freed the chair, making sure not to treat her like she was helpless. Then he returned to his table. Before leaving, Victoria stopped him. "Why did you help me?" Daniel shrugged. "Because someone should." That simple answer stayed with her all night. The next morning, Daniel received a phone call from a number he didn't recognize. "This is Victoria Hale." Daniel nearly dropped his coffee. "I wanted to thank you," she continued. "I'd like to offer you a position." Daniel frowned. "I already have a job. Not the kind I'm offering." She invited him to her company headquarters. When Daniel arrived, he discovered that Victoria wasn't simply wealthy. She was the CEO of Hale Innovations, a corporation worth billions. "I need someone to oversee a new division," she explained. "A division developing affordable mobility technology." Daniel laughed nervously. "Victoria, I fix engines. I don't run corporations." "You understand machines. More importantly, you understand people." She offered him a salary that was more money than Daniel had ever imagined earning. But he hesitated. "I don't want charity." Victoria smiled. "Neither do I. I'm offering you a job because you earned it." Daniel accepted. Over the next year, Daniel helped transform the new division. His practical knowledge and understanding of ordinary families brought ideas the executives had overlooked. Products became cheaper, safer, and easier to use. Something else changed, too. She and Lily became close. Victoria would join them for dinner, help Lily with homework, and listen to Daniel talk about his daughter's dreams. Slowly, the lonely billionaire who had once believed nobody could see beyond her wheelchair began to feel like part of a family. Then came the day Daniel's old garage burned down. He lost everything stored there. Victoria quietly bought the building and rebuilt it, but this time she put Daniel's name on the sign. Daniel stared at it in disbelief. "You did this?" Victoria nodded. "You once told me I didn't have to manage everything alone. I'm finally returning the favor." Daniel smiled. Years later, their company became famous for changing the lives of thousands of disabled people. But Victoria always remembered the nearly empty diner where everything began. And Daniel never forgot that one simple act of kindness had changed his life too. He had walked into that diner as a struggling single dad. He walked out of it with a career, a purpose, and eventually a woman who loved him. Not because of his money, but because she had seen his heart when he had nothing to gain. Sometimes the greatest opportunities don't arrive in expensive offices. Sometimes they begin with a stranger asking, "Are you okay?" And sometimes helping someone on their worst night becomes the first chapter of your best life.